In this video we will take you through the setup of Statutory Maternity Pay, SMP. The video will show you a typical path using the SMP wizard. In order to begin, please select the payroll run you require the SMP to be paid in. For the purpose of this video I am selecting run month 8. Highlight the employee you would like to enter SMP for. Then click on Edit Earnings for month 8. And Add Extra Earnings Pay Items. Scroll to the bottom and click here to add parental pay. In the middle of the box, press on Click Here and then fill in the fields below to add a new parental pay item. This will then bring up the parental pay wizard. Select Statutory Maternity Pay and press Next. In order to claim SMP, your employee must notify you that she is expecting a child and provide you with a copy of a maternity certificate, form MAP-B1, which will be signed by a doctor or midwife. You must not pay SMP unless you have received form MAP-B1 or its equivalent. Your employee should provide this at least 21 days before the start of her maternity pay period, or have a good reason for providing it late. Select Yes if you have either a copy of form MAP-B1 or a letter signed by a doctor or midwife that includes the date the baby is due. So yes, I have copies of the relevant information. Click the box and press Next. You can then enter the baby due date from form MAP-B1. Enter the baby due date from form MAP-B1 and click Next. Leave the baby born date blank at this time unless the baby has already been born. For the purpose of this video, I've selected No and click Next. If you have selected Yes, then the wizard will ask you to enter the date of birth. Unless your employee is off work with a pregnancy-related illness, leave the pregnancy-related illness start date blank and click Next. If your employee has indicated when she intends to begin her maternity leave, click Yes and enter the date in the Notified Leave Start Date field. Otherwise, click No and leave this blank for now. And click Next. If your employee has not indicated when she intends to begin her maternity leave, you must enter the Notified Leave Start Date when you become aware of the date, as SMP cannot be paid without it. The next part of the process will ask you to choose a parental pay status option. In most cases, these options wouldn't apply. There are certain conditions that under HMRC rules prohibit you from paying SMP. The top options relate to these conditions, and if any apply, you must select it. If none of these apply, select the bottom option and click Next. If you do select one of the top options, you may be asked to enter a date that the condition applies from. The next part of the process will ask you to select any parental pay payments made. For the purpose of this video, I have clicked No. If the answer is yes, then you will need to enter the value of payments made and the date. The next screen will ask you to advise of any curtailment notice received. The answer would usually be no, but if yes, then you would need to enter curtailment notice date and curtailment date. So select No and click Next and click Finish. If you have recently started using MyPAYE and there is insufficient previous payslip history to determine your employee's average earnings between the relevant date, MyPAYE will display a page asking you to enter the employee's earnings. Press Continue. When your employee starts maternity leave, you will need to make any amendments to their normal pay manually by editing their earnings before you run the payroll. If you do not do this, they will be paid SMP plus their normal earnings. This concludes the setup for the SMP video. If you have any further questions, please contact the help desk and we will assist you. Thank you for listening.